Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another interesting class. And in this class, we'll be looking at communication and the process of communication. Now, we are going to start by looking at the concept communication from where we move down to the communication process. Now, when we talk of communication, communication is the process of, sharing information, which could be in form of ideas, it could be in the form of symbol, it could be in the form of sign, from one person to another. So any calculated attempt that is made to exchange any sign, any symbol, any idea from one person to another can be termed as communication. It is a process of disseminating information, of sharing ideas, of sharing signs and symbols, which could be verbal and the non-verbal aspect of communication, depending on which one that the sender of that particular message is intending to use. And what are the process, or what are the communication process rather? Now, for you to be able to understand the communication process, it is also fundamentally important for you to understand the Laswell model of communication that says who says what, in which channel, to whom, and with what effect. So this model by Laswell summarizes the essence of communication: the intention of the sender, the channel that he used, the message that he packaged to the receiver, with the effect of that particular communication. Now, what are the communication process? Number one is what? The source or the sender. Now, when we talk of the source or the sender, is the originator of the ideas, the person who is the initiator of the discussion, the person who come up with fantastic and wonderful ideas that he want to translate these ideas or to transmit those ideas from one person to another. So when the sender or the source come up with ideas, then these ideas he want to let these ideas go to communicate these ideas. And the source is the starting point of the message. So the second element or component of communication process is the message, which is also the encoding process. Now the message is what the sender or the source of the information want to dish out to the to the receiver. So this comes in form of a message. Now you package this message in such a way that the sender will understand the content of the message, right? So when the content is being understood by the receiver, in this context you are simply packaging an information and you are trying to disseminate this information. So apart from the source, now we have the encoding process. Then we now have the message. And message is the what? Is the information, is the product that you want to sell or to disseminate or to pass across to the receiver. Now the next one is what? The channel. Now when we talk of the channel, we are looking at the medium. The medium through which this information is being disseminated from one person to another. That is channel. When you have a message, it is going to flow through a channel. Just like the way the river is flowing, it has a channel, a passage through which the water is passing. The message is also, it undergoes through this process known as a medium. And the medium could be either a radio, a TV, a newspaper, social media, or any platform that you are going to use to disseminate that particular message, right? So apart from that, we also have what is known as the receiver. Now, who is the receiver? The receiver is the one that will respond or react to that particular message. When you send this message via a channel, now somebody is going to have access to this message, which is the receiver. He's going to respond to this message, so that, because the message is not just does not just exist in a vacuum and then it just go out there. No, it has a target audience, and those target audience, or that person that the message is targeted, is the receiver. So we have access to this message, and then he will respond or he will react to the content of that particular message, right? So apart from the receiver, we also have what is called the feedback. Now, what is feedback? Feedback is the response that one gets from the message he or she receives. Now, when a message passes through the channel, which is the decoding process, that is from the channel, now you decode the message. Then from the feedback, you are not going to respond. That is when the message is well understood by the receiver. Remember that the essence of communicating that message must be well understood by the receiver. If not, it is very difficult for you to get, a comprehensive or a well understanding feedback. Because when you don't understand the message, when you don't understand the essence of the message, it will be quite challenging and difficult for you, the receiver, to respond to that message. So by the time the message is comprehensive and well understood by the receiver, then you have what is called the feedback. The receiver will respond or will react to the message. And another element in this context is also the noise. And the noise also came as a result of what? Misunderstanding in the message, or anything that distorts, prevent, or hinders one to understand the message. Then the essence of feedback will be difficult to achieve because you don't understand the message. And noise comes in different forms. It could be mechanical noise, it could be even physical noise. It could be any form of noise, anything that prevents you to have good access to that message could be considered as noise. Anything that prevents one to have comprehend or digest the content of that particular message can be termed as noise. Anything that prevents you to expose yourself to that message, to understand, to receive that message, is noise. So communication process flow within these components or elements, starting from the source, which pass from the encoding process to the message, from message which flow to the channel, from channel to the decoding process, which go down to the receiver to feedback, and sometimes the noise that stands as a barrier, which could be positive or negative.